Hi, with so many people out there talking about feminine energy right now, it's hard to know where that all started. So I thought I'd do sort of a history of feminine energy and how you would know about it. There's so many people out there talking about the concepts, and they've come from the beginning of time when people were talking about magic, witchcraft, intuition, therapists who are talking about the psychology of how people respond to cues, how people respond when they are mentally slightly imbalanced, how men think, how women theoretically feel. And so much of it's been written by men. So you may have encountered those books. And they basically give you the concept of the dynamic between men and women. But the question is, and when I came along quite a long time ago, was how does that feel to me? How do I, as a woman, get this? How do I wield my power? Is it power? What is it? And it's been labeled over all these years as intuition, perhaps, as something that, and this is kind of important, something that can be taught to men. You know, men in the workplace have been incredibly successful and can do almost anything without being labeled dramatic or emotional. They're called creative, they're called original, they're called visionaries, but nobody speaks about their emotional connection with their intuition or their senses or their feelings. There are many men talking about it now, but what they're really talking about is their feminine energy. So we all have feminine energy and masculine energy, as you well know, because we've been in our masculine energy for so long. We've been surviving, we've been supporting men, we have been supporting our children, we have been ignoring ourselves, and we have been doing our best to not be dramatic and emotional. And when we are stared at for it. It is starting to change now as men are getting softer, as men are starting to be willing to show their feminine side more. It's become a little more available to us, but still we get the label and they don't. So what I want to really express to you historically and right now is this has nothing to do with theory. Your feminine energy is not a theory. It's a body sensation. It's something you know down to your toes. It's something that you avoid at all costs because it feels so dangerous. It is the essence of love. Without your feminine energy in operation, in a relationship, love doesn't happen. And what's happening, and I speak to so many women, what's happening is that we as women are so terrified of the intimacy of love, the emotional content of it, when we're so busy having to survive and having to work and having to be smart. So giving in to this emotional, sensual, and when I say sensual, I'm not talking sexual, I mean the feelings in your body, the senses, the sensations. Getting into those can be terrifying, especially when everyone around you doesn't want you to. They don't want you to. At least in their minds, they don't want you to. But what a man wants and craves, especially now, is a woman who can go there, who can go to feelings, who can go to a sense of feelings about them, about a man, before jumping to a reaction of anger or judgment. So I hope this gives you a little bit of a background in why books can only go so far. It has to be a tool, an exercise for you that you can get used to so that when you are in a quandary or you're confused or a man is doing something, you don't mistake your feelings of loss and abandonment, which we all have, but women more so, because we feel it more strongly, of being left, of being walked away from when we are at our most emotionally vulnerable, which is when we are in love. And when we find ourselves in those feelings, we don't know where to go because nobody's ever really told us that's where we're supposed to be. So for now, for this particular video, when you find yourself in this kind of dark night of the soul, when you find yourself in this kind of trap of feeling so emotional and so much pain, feeling abandoned, feeling confused, somebody has not responded to you the way they normally do or are supposed to, and what that feels like in your body, what I want you to do is find that feeling. Go claim your feminine energy. Go into your body. Go feel the horrible feeling in your chest, the horrible feeling in your heart, the feeling in your jaw and your body, and how everything clenches and the tears fall, and just kind of revel in it. Pretend it's just the best wine ever, the best lotion ever, the best song ever, the song of you. This is your siren self. This is where your power lies. So when you're at your worst feelings, feel them. Go into them. You are strong. You can feel them. Hi, Mo. My cat's rubbing me. You can feel them. Go on into them and just see if you can sense what they are enough so that you can recognize them later. What I want you to do is become aware when those feelings are big and to be willing to go down into them. That is where your courage comes from. And this is how you're going to get the courage to love him when things feel difficult to you. This is power. This is your feminine energy power. And we're going to go into more historical stuff later.